Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? I am on my way once again this morning to Cedar Point. It's Saturday and I wanted to see if I can ride every ride at Cedar Point, even with the COVID restrictions. Although at this point, you no longer need a reservation to go to Cedar Point, which is great. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Let's see how many rides I can get done today. I wanted to get to Cedar Point this morning early because I would like to have as much time as possible to get in, and I want to be there in time for rope drop. However, it's 8:40 now. It takes about an hour and a half to get to Cedar Point, and it opens at 11 o'clock. I'm hoping I can get there still in time, but I'm definitely going to be close, cutting it close on this one. So we're going to try to get there as fast as I can. Unfortunately, this morning I slept in accidentally on purpose, so that's kind of an issue. Starting to get into fall, so it's time to soak in as many rays as I possibly can before winter comes and kills us. Should be a really fun day at Cedar Point, and it's a beautiful day too. Not too hot, not too cold. It's gonna be great. We've got a relatively empty parking lot today. I think this is the first time this season that I'll be parking in front of the little tower thing right there. A lot of people have asked me what it's like coming in with a mask and being out in the heat in the mask. I actually find it to be quite comfortable. It's not really an issue. It's hot when you're at Cedar Point regardless. I've just gone back to school. Sitting in the classroom in the air conditioning is much more uncomfortable than walking around Cedar Point because my body is already hot walking around Cedar Point. So I don't find it to be an issue at all. You certainly can't blame the heat or any sweat that you have on the mask. It is 11 o'clock right now and it is quite busy, if you can see behind me. This is the less busy tent also. And I'm about to go through temperature check. All right. And now we are back on our way into Cedar Point. Yay! The park has just opened. I think it's about 11:03. So everybody is up at the front of the park right now, working their way through. We are going to plan to go toward the back of the park to start these rides. If we can find a short line to hop in, then we'll do that. But chances are the lines at the front of the park right now are going to be our biggest lines. I have had a couple of days when I have just not had time to work out. So hopefully today this will be kind of a workout makeup for me. I'm probably gonna spend most of the day out of breath, and that's okay by me. While people are in access pass distribution lines, I am going to be making my way to the back of the park so that I can take advantage of some short wait times back there. Also, because I am not a child, I will not be riding the children's coasters at the back of the park like that one right there. I hate Gemini, but it has a short wait time, so maybe I won't hate it as much now that I don't have quite as much flesh moving independently from my body. Well, that was not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. The Gemini I have found throughout the years to be a lot better toward the beginning of the season than toward the end. I mean, it kind of feels like it's toward the end of the year right now, but it's just opened up not too long ago. So that was actually a pretty smooth ride. Didn't hurt me nearly as much as my 33-year-old body should have been hurt. So That's good. I see a completely empty car on this and a 5-minute wait time, so that definitely bodes well. My objective today is not to ride the biggest rides, it's just to ride as many coasters as I can today. So this makes it really easy for me. So Cedar Creek Mine Train was our second ride. It's a good ride. It's not my favorite. It is one that offers some relaxation and some beautiful views of the park. So those are both reasons why I think it's very worthwhile. So they are out of access passes for the rides, or at least for this ride right now. And a very nice worker here said that they ran out of those passes at about like 11:30, but they will start distributing those again at 3:30 tonight for 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So I'll be back probably around 3:30, but I may only get to ride one of those bigger rides today. But if that's the case, then I'll ride as many roller coasters as I can get, just like I said, and I'll be back another day to see if we can't hit some of those bigger rides. That's what we're up against right now, but I think it's kind of a fun challenge to see what I can do. One thing that is not so great is that since Cedar Point opens so late right now, as soon as you get in, you basically want to eat lunch. I would rather spend more time waiting in a line for a ride than waiting in a line for food when I'm already extremely hungry. Or you could just be really smart and eat on the way here and pack a lunch and have like a little fanny pack with you, which would have been really smart for me, but it's not something that I did today. However, I am very glad that I stood in line right now because the line is huge. Feels good to have a full belly and have a bit of a drink still. It looks like Thunder Canyon has a very low wait, so that's where I'm headed next. It's a relatively hot day, so I'm really surprised to see this short of a line here. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. Well, I didn't get too wet, but that's a good ride, fun ride. I'm not sure if I should call that a roller coaster or not, but at this point we've ridden 3 rides, only 2 roller coasters though. So now it's time to go find our next coaster. Hey guys, meet Blake.
How y'all doing?
If you guys are here, always say hi to me. It's nice to see you guys. If you guys are watching my videos and you come by, it's awesome to say hi.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Nice to meet you, Blake.
Yeah, you too.
See ya. Oh, those guys were so sweet. If you guys see me out and about and you want to say hi, please feel free to say hi. Also, if you get done with the water ride and you decide that your clothes are just too wet for comfort, there's always the option here that you can do of the family dryers. However, I gotta admit, I've never really found them to work. They just really make you extremely hot without doing any drying. So maybe take that with a grain of salt. I find those relaxed zones are very enjoyable and easy to use for me. Just taking that extra time just to sit down, it's really nice. This will be my next ride, Rougarou. Looks like this is gonna be about an hour and a half wait, which is quite a bit, but I'm just gonna tough it out. I'm imagining at this point, there isn't gonna be a whole lot that's gonna be lower than at least an hour wait. So we're just gonna do it, see what happens. Maybe it won't be as long as it's posted, but I'm thinking it will be. A worker just came through and encouraged us all to get into a better social distancing pattern. That's kind of a nice thing to see happening. He also cleaned off all of the handrails once again. I've noticed that consistently with Cedar Point. It's definitely a nice thing from them. If you notice, all of the social distancing stickers in these lines are all staggered next to one another, so that you never really have a reason to have to stand next to someone else in the line. This ride used to be a stand-up roller coaster, and it was absolutely horrendous. because with the stand-up roller coaster, I mean, without being too crude, as a man, it kind of destroyed parts of you. All your weight was on a very bad place. And so now it's a sit-down roller coaster. I'm not sure that it's better. I guess when we ride it, we'll see. Every half hour or so, they send through an empty train of cars. I have a feeling that's just to dry off the cars after they have sanitized them. But surprisingly, it's only been an hour, and we are very close to the front of the line. So I don't know if it's going to take an hour and a half. I think at this point it's actually been 50 minutes. So we'll check it out when we get up there, but it's looking pretty good right now. Yeah, I've been in line here now for 50 minutes, and we are in the very ending stretch before we get on the ride. So I think it's only going to be an hour-long wait to get on this in comparison to the hour and a half that they told me. So, I mean, that's a win in my book, I guess. The first half of it, right there, is pretty incredible. The second half of it kind of beats the shit out of you. A little tip, if you are going to ride Rougarou, push your head back against the seat as much as you possibly can. The ride is very, I don't even want to say rickety. It just sends your head back and forth, and it will box your ears if you're not really tightly up against the back of the seat. Push your head back against it, hold it there as tightly as you can. It does add just that extra amount of tension though to your neck. That's not that much fun either. But Rougarou is probably not my favorite ride, and that's why, because it beats you up quite a bit. And if it's one you want to experience, I mean, you probably should experience at least once. It's a good ride. Still, not one that's one of my ultimate favorite. It says a posted wait time of 60 minutes for Iron Dragon. And I would say that is never worth it for that ride. At this point, I've only ridden 3 rides, and I guess it's only been 3 hours. That's not that bad. And I ate. 3 roller coasters, 1 water ride. Yeah, not too bad. It's all right. Let's get our next one though. All right, Valraven is at a 2-hour wait, so I'm not waiting there. At least not right now, but it looks like Blue Streak may be a good option for me today to get in as many rides as possible. So this will be number 4 for the day. Let's see what it's like. It says 60 minutes, but the last ride said an hour and a half, and it was only an hour. So let's see if the same kind of idea holds true here also. I got in line at 2:07. Let's see how this line holds up. A nice park employee right back there just told me that they clean the handrails every 15 minutes. About every half hour, they sanitize one of the trains and then send it through by itself. I think that's just to let it air out and let it dry off, and then we can ride on it again. Well, to ride the ride and stand in line, it took me just under an hour. It's 3 o'clock now. I got in line at 2:07. That ride, it's a great ride. It feels so rickety though. This is the oldest ride in Cedar Point, the Blue Streak, and you can feel even the floor of the coaster just shifting during the ride. It's great. It's a really fun ride, but honestly, it makes me probably more sick than any other ride here at Cedar Point. So Blue Streak is number 4 for the day. So far it's been a good day. Definitely some long lines though, although that line was not as long as they said it might be. It just barely came under. We're definitely running at a long day today. but that's okay. Today also is a Saturday at Cedar Point. I would recommend, if you want to get maximum impact on your trip here, if you're coming from further away, definitely pick at least one weekday to come in and ride rides also. If you're able to do that, that should help you quite a bit to get a lot more bang from your buck and be able to ride more rides. Right now they're giving away access passes again at 3:30, and I'd like to hit at least one ride. In particular, I would like to try to hit Millennium Force because it is one of my all-time favorite rides. So I'm gonna make my way back to Millennium right now, and hopefully we can snag a pass for that and be able to ride that by the end of the day today. I see a show coming up that I've never seen before, so it'll be fun to check this one out. It is 3:16. Distribution starts at 3:30. This is the line already for the access pass. Long line, but I think I'm gonna get in it anyway and wait to see if I can't get an access pass for Millennium Force. I have never done this before, so I have no idea if they will have tickets at the end of this or not. I'm assuming they give quite a few away, but I don't know. I'm biting the bullet for you guys. You can thank me later. It took me a full 4 minutes to walk to the end of this line. So, I mean, if you have to walk 4 minutes to get to the end of the line, then you'll know if they'll still have tickets at the end. Okay, quick tip here that I just figured out. It is 3:25 and the line has already started moving forward. So it started moving forward at 3:25. So definitely get in line a little bit early. You at least need to be in line 15 minutes early to get one of these access passes. And then as soon as it starts moving forward, you're gonna immediately be moving forward quickly to get them. So I still don't know if I'm gonna get one, but we'll see soon. Thank you very much. All right, so I got an access pass for 5 to 6. So probably if you didn't want to wait that extra 15 minutes to stand in line, you probably would be fine. I'm sure, yeah, the line is still going. It's still huge. If I got one for 5 to 6, then there's still quite a few left. As long as you get in line around 3:30, you should be fine to get that access pass the second half of the day. My next ride here is Iron Dragon. I do think it's probably a good idea to get an access pass in the morning when you first get here, and then get a second access pass in the evening, even though then you have to forego some of those shorter ride lengths. I think that's probably the better strategy for people to take in order to ride as many rides as possible. Iron Dragon says it is a 45-minute wait right now, and right now though it is 3:40, so we're gonna time it and see. Looks like they have 2 trains running for this ride. I have been noticing that there are more trains running for the different rides. When I came the very first week, I think there were fewer trains running, and I think this one only had one train running at one time. So that definitely helps expedite the process and makes it a lot less tedious than it was the first week that I came. I got in line for this ride at 3:40. I am already very, very close to the ending ascent up the stairs onto the loading dock. I don't think there's any way this is a 45-minute wait. This will be at most a 25-minute wait probably. So I have a suggestion for these ride queues. I think while we're waiting in ride queues, it should be like Richard Simmons on the TVs, and we should be doing workouts while we're in these queues. We can do push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? And then we're not wasting that hour. I mean, everybody would be exhausted, but it would be awesome, right? They have stopped the ride for just a minute for a deep cleaning on Iron Dragon. Now that I know the way that it works and I've seen how fast this line has gone, even though it looks relatively big. I'm perfectly fine with the idea of them cleaning it up, keeping it healthy. It's good with me. As far as I can tell, the disinfecting process has really come down to a much better science here at Cedar Point. They've got it down pat a lot faster than they did when I first started coming here this year. In my nice, fresh, clean car. Whenever you get out of a roller coaster, make sure that you wait for the worker to tell you what you need to do next. And right now, we have a show happening right here.
Oh, you're looking good. I'm gonna sing my song. It won't take long. We're gonna do the twist and it goes like this.
So I have now done 5 roller coasters. Iron Dragon was number 5. 6 attractions because of the water ride that I did. And I think I'm actually gonna go back to the water ride and spend a little bit more time just trying to cool off a little bit. Don't be shy to pick up some water at a Coke station either. These days get really hot, especially in the midsummer like it is right now, so don't be shy. Now, if you know it's gonna be a big line coming up here, and you also know that it's time to eat, might as well grab some food, eat it in the line. All right, I got my pizza. And I'm gonna be eating that in line for Big Thunder Canyon? Is that what it's called? I think I call it something different every time, but for the water ride. It is so hot. I can't wait to cool off a little bit. All right, we are almost up to the front. And it's only been about a 30-minute line, so it's just about perfect. And then I'll be going to Millennium Force after this.
To answer your questions about practically anything. Today's question.
They just sent all the vehicles through one more time for a bit of a thorough cleaning once again. If you want to know how big and how long the wait is going to be, this is going to be about a half-hour line, maybe 40 minutes. I got much more drenched. My pants are just completely soaked, but that's really good because while I'm waiting for Millennium Force now, I'll actually have some ability to stay cool while I'm in that hot sun. Also, it looks like that was actually about a 50-minute wait instead of the 30 or 40-minute wait that I thought it might be. While I put my shoes on, for the River Rapids ride, there are more than just the little barrels or the little buckets for you to put your shoes in. You can actually put your shoes also in some lockers that they have, and they have them all over the park, but they have a place conveniently located here. Honestly, it's Ohio. I mostly trust people, especially in a theme park. I don't think people are gonna steal my clothes. I just prefer to go the cheap route and just put them in there, and it's also a lot faster to do it that way too. I've got 15 minutes to make it to Millennium Force for my 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock reservation. Wow, getting the pass for this is really good for the people who do it. But the problem is, it then drives up the lines for everybody else. Ready to ride on the shortest line for Millennium that I have ever had. For one reason or another, it has gotten substantially busier behind me. But when I came in, there was absolutely no line or almost no line. So I don't know if maybe it's just the very last people and I came in right before the last group, you know, rushed to use up their tickets, or if they're letting in the next group a little bit early.
Put your back and shoulders against the seat back and hold on to the grab bar until the ride comes to a complete stop.
I'm telling you, that ride is 20 years old and it is still the best ride at Cedar Point I dare anyone to disagree with me. You just feel like Superman going through it. And then the lift time and the hills and the air time are just incredible. The view from that lift is beautiful. I'm sure I have probably one of the ugliest faces on my face in my picture, so I never look at it because I'm always like cringing, but I'm absolutely loving every second of it. That is such a great ride, and if anybody has not ridden it before, you definitely gotta get on that one. That was ride number 8, and it was roller coaster number 6 because I've ridden the water ride twice today. 6 o'clock right now, and at 8 o'clock the rides will close. So we'll see if I can get 2 more. Now we've got another show going on once again. We've got the guys of Beach Blanket Bingo to serenade us right now. I think a lot of people are gonna be wanting to hop on to Valraven at the end of the day. So right now, I'm gonna try to hop onto this one. I already tried it earlier today and it was just too big of a line, but I think at this point, it might just be worth it. And then I may be able to hit up Gatekeeper after that. It might work out. We'll see. Either way, I'm not getting all 17, or I think it's 17 coasters. I'm not getting all of those today. I've done quite a few, so I'm pretty proud of myself. This is pretty good, especially considering the shortened hours and needing to have a pass. So it's looking like if you want to ride all the rides, you're probably going to need 2 days to do it, unless you are really, really smart. Somebody smarter than me probably can do it. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the summer, I'll be able to too. We'll just have to see, won't we? An hour and a quarter for Valraven is pretty decent. I feel like I can definitely deal with that. So that's what I'm doing right now. When I talked about the Blue Streak is kind of an awful ride in a way. I mean, I love it, but it's kind of awful because it is so jerky. But the new rides that they have, Gatekeeper, Valraven, Millennium Force, those are all incredibly smooth rides. Got in line at about 6:15. It's now 6:25, and I'm about halfway through this section anyway. We'll see how long, if this is actually an hour and a quarter, or if we're looking at a little bit less than that, because this has been a long line. But I'm pretty close to the end of it, I think. So far, it's been about an hour since I've gotten in line. So there's a good chance I'm not going to get to any more than maybe one more after this. Maybe. We'll see what happens. So it might be the end of tonight, but we'll see. If not, then hopefully we can have a little bit of camera time out on the beach also tonight. In Valraven, we're all standing staggered. We have very clear please stand here marks, and it looks like we are spaced, like 2 to 3 seats apart each. So excited to ride this ride. This is such a great ride, and I've waited so long. Guys, that is an incredible ride. Just from getting all the way to the top, and you have that stop with just the most beautiful view of the entire park and of Lake Erie, and then it hangs you over the top, and you don't know when you're gonna go, but all of a sudden it releases, and you just get this rush of adrenaline, and it's so smooth. It gives me a little bit of a headache, but it is an incredible ride. It is time for one last ride before the park closes. We're gonna go to old tried and true Gatekeeper. Doesn't look like Gatekeeper is too full, so we'll see.
Sorry guys, we're closed for the night.
Never mind, Gatekeeper is closed. Pro tip that I knew nothing about until just today. All the rides do not stay open until right at 8 o'clock. Their lines will close within the last 15-20 minutes of the night. Right now it's 7:43. The park closes at 8 o'clock. So that's something to keep in mind if you are wanting to come here to Cedar Point at some point. Don't plan to go all the way up to 8 o'clock.
Nice to meet you, can I tell you, baby? Look around, there's a whole lot of pretty ladies.
The swell tones, they are not the best, but after you've watched them 3 times, they just kind of get in your blood. Outside the park now. It's time for a little bit of R&R. Like I've said before, the beach is open to anyone, but these pools are not. So after the park closes, come on out here, take a few minutes, let yourself relax, let all the traffic go crazy out in the parking lot while you have a drink and get ready. We've got the band right in front of me. I'm loving this. This is such a relaxing way to end the evening. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite things to do at night. Great way to end a Saturday. I love it when the water does this. As a kid, I used to love to play in these little ponds. They're always so warm during the day, and then you can build sandcastles off of them, and they look amazing. Today we did 9 attractions, 7 roller coasters. We saw all of the different lands, which I think is 5 different lands, and we saw 3 different shows. That's a success in my book. I would love it if I could do more than 7 roller coasters sometime very soon. But for right now, 7 roller coasters, I mean, that's what a lot of parks have in and of themselves. I was slightly disappointed that all the rides closed early, but it does allow me to get a drink, spend a little R&R here on the beach, and then just get some additional relaxation in. I'll probably just spend the next hour just sitting on the beach, enjoying my drink, and having just a good time, a relaxing time after a day that was filled with some pretty intense stuff. At this point, I think I have 19,000 steps on my pedometer. Can you think of a better way to spend the end of the evening? Just sitting on the beach, looking at this beautiful view, which, I mean, guess I'm not looking at right now, but so pretty behind me. This is a great way to end your Cedar Point day.